Good morning. It's Saturday morning. I'm out with my doggies in Nakalamud. I want to talk a little bit about finding balance, about the twin flame journey, awakening journey, and I'm finding that it's all about finding balance. In the beginning of the twin flame journey, there's this trying to this chasing energy. It's finding balance between push and pull, between light and dark, between um, the physical and the non-physical, the spiritual. It's finding balance in everything. I kind of feel like it's the yin and yang. There's some kind of balance that you need to find. In the beginning, you're chasing, and then it gets so overwhelming that you're pushing. And it's coming back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I feel like in order to so what I was thinking this morning, what I was actually thinking about is that in the beginning, there's so many extremes. It's like you're trying to catch, but you can't catch. It's like the further you chase, the further the push. And then when you pull back, it's like an imbalance. There's an imbalance there. And with the twin flame journey, it's kind of like finding this place where you're in perfect harmony, where you're in perfect. It's not about the catching the other person. It's about finding your own self and finding a way of suspending yourself. It's kind of like you're neither here, you're neither there. You're kind of somewhere in the middle, and everything is suspended. It's like this letting go of everything, but at the same time holding on. But you're not really holding on, and you're not really letting go. You're just kind of suspending everything. I'm trying to, it seems like earlier I had better words for it. And sometimes I think that maybe I should just wait for the right words. But a lot of times I have an idea that is like a cloud. And when I just start talking about it, it comes into the exact words. Sometimes it takes a little bit. Um, but I feel like the more I find balance in myself, and the more I bring myself back to myself, and it's finding balance in everything in my life. It's finding balance in my work, between work and play. It's finding balance. So so it's not just work, just work, just work. There's no pressure in anything when you find this balance. I'm learning how to find it this past week, and it's without any kind of vices. So I take all the vices out, because the vices bring in an imbalance. The vices, I mean, by your outs, like addictions, you're smoking marijuana or any of those things. They bring you into a place of imbalance, because they take you out of your sacred self, your fine being, your um, born essence. They take you into like this different dimension, which is your own dimension mixed with the vibration of plant medicine or whatever it is that you're bringing in. Um, so I feel like the clarity that I'm getting, and one thing that I was afraid of when I quit smoking marijuana, is that, oh, I'm going to lose my spirituality. And what I'm realizing is that it's exactly the opposite. Um, okay, so there's a lot of, the smoking marijuana opens up all these little places in your mind that you go into, but it's out of balance. So it's just the same thing that I'm talking about, finding this balance. I feel like a spiritual awakening is finding the balance. It's finding the balance between being here in this earth. This body is our earth body. It's made from the earth. So it's finding balance in between the earth and the spiritual realms. It's coming in, and the only way that you can do this is by coming into the now. Another thought, and it's connecting back up to this, is that when you are in appreciation, Appreciation brings you into your connectivity with everything around you, and it brings you into the now. It really brings you into the now. It grounds you. Um, and now some thoughts that I'm having because I'm talking about finding balance in between earth and spirit. And when you really think about it, we are these bodies that come from the earth, but we are separated from the earth. We travel on top of the earth. So we are kind of like in between heaven and earth. We are bodies that are not in the earth. We're not connected. We're not like part of the stone or part of a tree, because we can get up and move around independently of the earth. But we also are still connected, because that is where our vitality comes from. That's where our body comes from. That's where our food comes from. um, but we are also in the spirit world. There's something going over. I'm going to show you where I'm at. I'll just turn around this way so you can see. I'm in this canyon. I love coming here because, well, I just love coming here. But I was thinking also, one of the reasons I'm like I'm sitting under this massive cliff here, and it's in between two. It's like a slit in the earth in between two cliff faces, getting into this little valley here, and it really like clears out all of the outside energy, all of the vibrations. I can actually like see it energetically going over the canyon, and noises, outside vibrations, and you really come into this valley, and it's pure with nature, and I'm pure in my own vibration. So that's something. So I'm finding that in this twin flame journey, because we're kind of like forced into finding this balance with this other person, because you can't catch them, and you also can't disconnect from them. And so it's finding this place of evening everything out, where you can just be at present, and your presence is next to their presence. And um, I really lucked out with my partner. I really did, and this on this spiritual awakening, because he's also, he sees it. He sees the mystical parts of it. He sees the spiritual. He also is doing his own self work for himself. Not for see it. It's not about your twin. It's not about the twin flame journey. It's about finding this balance. And once you find the balance, you see that the balance is in everything. It's supreme. It's above all. The balance is in between. It's the contrast of life. It's a life contrast. It's the balance between dark and light. It's the balance between the earth and the spirit. It's the balance between work and play. It's the balance between everything. There's two sides to everything. Everything that is in existence because of its contrast. Nothing can exist without contrast. And once you are able to, like, there's polarization. Like there's polar sides. There's two sides to everything, and it comes back around, and then you have a full paradox, which you have a whole. And when you fully experience life, it's like getting in the middle of the contrast, and being able to not try to hold anything in place. We are in constant movement. Everything is in constant evolution. When you try to hold something and try to hold it down, first of all, it's a lost cause, because everything is in change and in constant change. So when you're trying to hold something, you are trying to you are not allowing it to continue its proceed in its evolution. So you see that when you try to grasp something from the physical world, you are what's the word? You're from the word, what the real word meaning of the word. You're retarding its growth. It doesn't continue to grow, and then not only are you suffering because you're trying to hold something in place that it naturally wants to grow out of place. And let's say if you do manage to hold it in place, then you are inhibiting its expansion and growth. And so it's like a two-way street. You're holding yourself in place, but you're also holding whatever you're holding back in place too. Whereas when you fully experience and grasp life and this continuation of life, there's nothing to hold on to in the physical world. There's things that can give you, there's things that you hold on to in your surroundings that you enjoy, but it's not like dependence on them or, um, like I come from a family that has like some hoarding. Um, I think the hoarding and overweightness and alcoholism and all of the addictive behaviors. They all come from kind of the same place. Well, they all do come from the same place. It's a okay. Hold on, I lost it. Just a minute, because I this is just a minute. We'll come back around to it when I try to make something come back, and then my mind gets into it. It stops the natural flow of it. But really, what I want to talk about in this video is about the letting go and finding balance and um, release. It's the release of control. Because how did all this come up this morning? I got up this morning and I was really thinking about this. That I don't really have that chasing energy anymore. I feel like I really want to see my twin, and I enjoy his company and I enjoy being with him and I want to see him, but I don't have that. Like the chasing energy is something that comes up from within, and you feel this like pressure and it's really been released in me, and I see that I have other interests and I have other things in my life that I really want to bring in and have time to do. And I feel like in the beginning of this whole twin flame journey, in the beginning, like this last year and a half has been almost like obsessive. And after a while, you release by nature of things because you kind of get sick of that energy, and other things start coming in that interest you, and you get tired of everything being all about that. It becomes like you get sick of it. You get sick of constantly having those the that it because that energy it's overwhelming and it's harsh. It's like it comes up in you, it like bubbles up in you, and it's like there's you feel like you have to run, you have to run, you have to run. And I think that what helped me dissipate it is sitting in it, not running, allowing it to flow through me, sitting in it. Also with the marijuana, just like, okay, no outs, just sit in it, just sit in it. And I think also with the marijuana, partially it left on its own because of the knowing. You see, it's finding this balance. It's also a balance in between your heart and your mind, in between your emotions and your logic, and they work together. So it's really the twin flame journey. The coming together with your twin and see, this is you find you find your twin, you meet your twin, and then all of a sudden you have like this, oh, I want to be with him, and it's like this overwhelming pull to just want to be with him, and the more you act on it, the more they run. And because it's a needy energy, it's like a like try to grasp somebody and hold them in place. That's why this the journey is so divine, because you're trying to, if you go in and let's say a lot of twins, there are a lot of twin flame stories that I hear that they're drawn to each other, and then they like collide with each other, and the energy is so strong because there's like a want to hold on to that person, a want to like there's jealousy and you know, all sorts of negative things that also come up in it, like trying to hold somebody in place, trying to hold them with me, trying to, you know, and that creates like this codependency, and each of the twins can't fully come into their higher selves under that kind of stress, you know, with when there's extreme like wanting, what is the word, there's a word for it, like when you're trying to possessive, there's an extreme possessive energy, and you come together, then each party kind of allows that possessive, then you really make your life a lot smaller. You don't allow other people into your life, and your life becomes like intense, and this intense colliding of, it's like I feel like it's like colliding of two universes somehow. It's like two galaxies colliding. It's so powerful. And that's why, like, when they collide and then each one is thrown out of it, because that energy is unsustainable. But when you find a balance where each of you can flower and bloom inside of also being together or around each other. See, with us, we're not, it's not even, it's just a friendship. There isn't a romantic relationship there. And with that, we can find a balance where each of us can rise into their higher selves and still enjoy all of the different tastes of life, including meeting other people and talking to other people. And that is one of the things of being able to be with him and not have those jealousies that are like inhibiting. Because I was in a partnership, with my husband for 20 some years, and he was super jealous. And what it did to me was just turn my life off, because I couldn't talk to men. I didn't even want to talk to men. At some point, when you're dealing with jealousy and your partner is jealous, you don't even want to deal with the jealousy. So you'd rather just like, okay, so you cut out everything that's going to make him jealous, you cut out of your life. And in the end, his possessive and wanting to hold me down, first of all, it made bad feelings from me to him. So even if I willingly cut out all the men out of my life and cut out, even conversations with men, like casual conversations, I didn't have, because it would set him off. And he got to be more and more and more controlling because I more and more and more allowed it and cut out. So in the end, anything would trigger his jealousy. Even just somebody looking at me sideways would trigger his jealousy, and also I allowed it, so it would legitimize his jealousy towards me. And what it did is really made my life really small. And in the end, he was also jealous of girlfriends. I didn't have girlfriends, or jealous of my artwork because it took all my focus. And so for 8 years, I remember I didn't even draw when I'm, an artist. I'm still getting back to it. I'm still letting myself, teaching myself back into allowing myself to do the things that I like to do, allow myself to put time, or to even buy myself things that I like, like for years and years and years, I really I made myself small. I didn't really go out and allow myself. And in that, I also became obese, and I also became an alcoholic, and, had all of these vices because my being was, my self-expression, my what I love to do, my openness. I was closed off and made like it's like taking light that wants to shine and covering it with a whole bunch of layers so none of its light can get out. Um, and I feel like in this twin flame journey with my twin, everything is happening so divine and exactly as it is needed to be happening. See, my friendship with him, the person that he is, I love the person that he is. I love being around him. I love being in his presence. He makes me laugh. I enjoy him so much, and I realize the divine intelligence in the way that our journey is happening without sexuality and without trying to make him mine, letting go of all that. That doesn't have to be there. It's still a challenge because I still have those feelings towards him, like I'm not going to be able to say it without crying, so I'm just going to cry. I've barely cried this week. Actually, I think it's a lot because of the quitting smoking marijuana. My emotions are far more steady. There's still that attraction there, like this deep rooted attraction, but I'm learning to live with it. And I really do want a life partner. I want somebody, to express my love to, and also my physical love. That's part of this life is, part of this life is experience is being sexual and being able to hug somebody and to be able to give comfort to somebody and get comfort from somebody. That's part of a partnership. That's part of the fullness of life. Living life to the fullest is having somebody to share it with, a partner to share it with. So I was telling my parents that I feel so alone sometimes. And they said, well, you don't have to feel alone. There's lots of people that love you. We're here for you. It's not the same. It's not having that person that's there, that's your partner, that you do things together, that your higher good is also their higher good. And what I, that what I bring as benefits into the world is for their benefit as well. It's not just, I understand blah blah blah, I come into my higher being and be whole first and whatever. Okay, so I'm whole, but part of being whole is also, being able to have somebody to share it with. It's like if you if you go to a different country and you travel around the world, there's a difference between traveling around the world with yourself, which you can enjoy and it can be really fun. But then when you travel with somebody else, you share the memories, you share the experience. Your experience is heightened, is broadened because you have this other person in there that brings more to the table, that opens up things to you that you might not have done on your own, and somebody that you can share the memories with. You have a partner, somebody that you can also share the joy with, but also share the hardships with. Somebody that gives you balance. And I really, really, really want that for me. I really want that for me. And this journey was completely unexpected. It wasn't something that I even knew existed before it fell into my world. And I feel kind of like I see all the other twins, and there's a romantic part there. And I see my journey. There's also romance there. There's like but it's always feeling of lacking. There's always a feeling of like it's not fully expressed, or because it's just a friendship. There's parts of me that don't get expression, that can't fully, and I feel like it's inhibiting me. It's like it's, if there's a place in my world for that's massive, broad place for a partner, for a romantic partner, like if there's a place that's like this for that, that has all of this, it's like I have almost like a need to express my physical love. It's like it, so I feel like my life experience, or my human experience on this physical plane, is in lack, or is not fully coming to expression, and I feel like it's making something in me novel. It's like something in me is like dying almost. Like a part of me is kind of dying. It's not complete. And I want that for me. And I really want to be able to feel an attraction like that. Maybe what I should really be praying for is just, like I do with my meditation, try to feel the joy of having a partner without it having to be anybody specific, just magnetizing my life partner, a true, full life partner into my life. And with the twin flame thingy, like I know that he's going to have to be a part of my life, because I can feel that he already is. It has to be there. There's like a, 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 a connection that is higher than me. He's I feel connected. I feel him in me even when we're apart. I always feel his presence. And I'm trying to think, like, how do I find a different partner that I have a real deep connection, and when I have this other person in me as well? How does that work? How can that work? And I know that if when I find my true partner, that is going to be, I know how I am. When I get in, I don't need a lot of people in my, I need good relationships in my life. I do need people in my life, but I know that when I have a partnership, that I just want to spend time with my partner. I don't have a need to have a million partners. I have a need to have one solid partner. And if I'm truly committed in that and in love with my partner, which is the partnership that I want a full everything, kalul, everything, all in. And when I'm all in, then will I really have place for my twin in my life? How is that going to work? Is it going to become like something that is, I can't even imagine it from where I am right now. I can't imagine it. Maybe I don't even need to imagine it. You see, this is what I picked the other day, and it's natural. I found out that it's a wild sage. I'm gonna pick some more because that made really nice buffer. I don't know what they're called, like sage sticks. I made a couple. I made one for my twin and one for me, and it's really nice. I put some lavender and some other like sage from my parents' yard in it, and it turned out really nice. It smells so nice. I'll make a few sticks if somebody wants me to make them one, I think it would be really cool. So if somebody wants me to make them one, then I'll make them one. Maybe just ask for postage on it so I can send it. Also, what I was thinking about the balance thing, because this video is supposed to be about balance. And now I feel like I just want to turn it off and I want to sit here and cry for a little while. I feel like it's been, I haven't cried in the last couple of weeks, and I feel like there's a buildup. I don't even know what about. These last couple of days, like yesterday, I didn't do any video because I didn't feel like it. Yesterday, we did a birthday for my twin's mother. It was really nice. I made her a cake. I make her the simplest cake because it's a vegan cake. It's just like I get these petit beurre. They're like these flat like tea biscuits, and it's like layers of tea biscuits and rich as cream. The vegan kind is plant-based. It turns out really good with a little bit of pudding. Yesterday I put in some peaches and I made some pudding with the peach juice, and I actually crunched up all the cookies, and then I put them on top of the stovetop, and I added some coconut oil and cinnamon and a little bit of sugar and like caramelized the cookies and made layers with like cookie crumbs. And it turned out really good. I did cookie crumbs, a layer of the frosting, I did peaches, and then a little bit of pudding with the peach juice, and then another layer of the cookie crumbs, and then another layer of the frosting, and then another layer of cookie crumbs, and that was it. That was the cake. And it turned out really good. It turned out really good. And so we had, and then my twin brought a whole bunch of like snacks and stuff, and we did it in his yard. And my girlfriend, which is also his friend, I met her through him. She did his course. He has a course on making organites. These are the organites. He has an online course. See, it's Alchemy. There's magnets and all sorts of different kinds of stones and crystals and metals and magnet inside. It's a layer work, and it's based on Dr. Reich. I don't know. He was a Canadian who he came up with a well, I don't know if he came up with it because it was also biblical. It was you know but anyway, you have to read about organites. I'm not going to explain it. I kind of also probably wouldn't do it justice by trying to explain it myself, but I kind of feel like it's a portal, and you can do work with this. Sometimes when I can feel like it's super heavy on me and I have to take it off when the energies are really heavy. Um, but it's alchemy, and it's electronic too. It really clears out vibrations and purifies, and I feel like it's kind of like a portal into different protection. And um and it's based on technology. It really is based on the technology. It's not just up in the air. And it really works. I can tell with myself. Also, there's pyramids that are made with it, and they have healing properties. All sorts of stories about people that with insomnia, all of a sudden being able to sleep a full night with the organites. There's a calming to it. So I would suggest anybody that's interested really look into it. And he makes them. My twin makes them, and he makes them powerful because also the energy of the alchemist. He's an alchemist, artist, alchemist, genius. Besides just to me, he's genius. Actually, tested genius, tested and Einstein genius. I would say even, further, the connection is pure. It's maybe different, maybe Einstein, different Einstein. Um, besides the fact that he's my twin, that he's genius. That he was born to, his father was autistic, and his father passed when he was 10. So he had to go through detrimental. He had to go through, so much pain. And his mother is she is special needs, as she is has mental. Uh, she would be considered mentally disabled, um, but she has this high spiritual connection. And that's why one of the things with me saying that he is the Messiah is because the Messiah was born of a virgin mother, and in her mind she's like has the mind of a child. She sees things so pure and clear. It's like you cut the bullshit. You can't bullshit around her because she sees right through it. But like this, it's like the complex thinking part, like the complex thoughts, and you try to twist things around. She doesn't understand all that. She understands very like a child's mind, like like a pure mind, like the mind of a virgin. And the virgin is a mindset, and I can see how that affected the way that he was raised. No, she always just says exactly what, he was brought into the world in a place where he was already, a place where he had to just to become, just to be, he had to go through so many things that most people won't even go through in a lifetime. And then his father passed when he was 10. And he was raised mostly by his grandparents, and then they both passed when he was young. So he had to deal with a lot of loss, and being an only son and being alone with an autistic father and a mother that is mentally disabled, and then at 10 years old, after his father passed, he has a really unique story. He travels and does um performances with his mother. It was something that he had to overcome and then embrace. And part of the embracing it was also bringing her, and he lifts her up and puts her on a pedestal in that way. And it's amazing to see all of the work that he's done with himself, because as a child being raised, his mother was a source of like embarrassment, or like always having to deal with this, being in a place where he was kind of like his parents parent, and always having to make boundaries with his mother, because his mother loves him so much, she over loves, and doesn't have those boundaries. So he had to set those boundaries very clear from a really young child, and also having a more complex mind than his mother, and seeing through his mother's agendas and things like that. And I'm saying it in a loving way. I love her. I feel like we're family. I just got off the phone with her too. And I really do. I feel blessed to have them in my life, and to be able to even see it in my life. It enriches my life. And also being able to see, I can see her and I see him, and I feel like I've really been blessed to be able to see them together, because I can see how he was created through her. I can see her, and I see how she is, and how that sculpted who he is and who he has become. And how through also having her way of seeing the world, and also having her as a parent, um, allowed him to just see through everybody's bullshit just like that. Because you can see people's behaviors also, because when you are with people with special needs, you can see, people that are normal, like any of us are normal, right? You can see how normal people don't are unaccepting sometimes, or how they don't get it, or they don't give value to everybody. Because okay, so I see her as it's funny for me to say that she's special needs, because the way that I see her is If there's anybody's approval that I want, it's hers. And it's not because she's his mother. It's because I see how she sees things so pure and she doesn't, you can't be fake around her. So she's like a very, very, very pure mirror for me. If any place that I'm off, she catches on like that. She catches on like that. And there's times when I'm not completely connected to myself, and she'll catch on to it, and she'll catch on to it, and not always will she be able to say exactly what it is, but she can tell when somebody's bullshitting her. Even when I can't tell that I'm bullshitting because I'm just disconnected from myself, then all of a sudden I'll see her starting to go off with me, and I'll know that I'm off, because when I'm on, she's spot on with me. It's like pure love. When I'm in balance, I'm in balance with her, and she can accept me. When I'm out of balance, I had a reminder come up on my phone. When I'm out of balance, that's when she starts like disconnecting from me. So I have like this outer mirror, besides the outer mirror with my twin. But the things that he has had to deal with in his life has created who he is, and besides his natural born talents and being open, like his mother is open to God, like God flows through her, and it flows through her not in a way that she even knows about it, which is the purest way of purest. It's not like, where is my God connection? It just flows through her. She's not even aware of it. She's connected divinely. She has telepathy, major telepathy. We'll be talking about her, she'll call. I'll be thinking about her, she'll call. She'll say something that's connected to something that happened earlier in the day that she didn't know about. She has no way of knowing. She's always bringing in, just like saying something that connects with, or um, it's amazing. It's amazing, the way that she brings things into being, and her blessings. Like that's why I like her blessings so much, because I feel like she has this connection. And what she earlier she blessed, like her blessings are like God sent. It's like they're powerful. So this twin flame journey really forces you to find balance with your twin, because the draw to your twin is so strong and so intense that it can be unbearable at times. And then we try to run away from our twins sometimes. Like in the beginning, you try to run away and disconnect from them. I don't know how many times I tried to disconnect from him because it's too intense. It's like, I'd rather just not have to deal with this and just go on with my own path, and just like, get away from me. I don't want to deal with you. But you can't. And after a while, you realize that even when you try to disconnect from them, they're still in you. So you can't disconnect from them. And that they were always in you. That was always the feeling that you had. And so in the end, you when you realize this, you just quit trying to disconnect from them. And then in this trying to find balance with them, it also forces you to balance everything else out in your life. That's the spiritual awakening. You're forced to find balance with them, and that's the ultimate balance. So then by finding balance with them, it's like an emotion or a vibration, a balanced vibration. And once you're in balance, everything else in your life balances out. It's the dark and the light, all the contrast balances out. uh, Work and play. And when you come into that whole, everything is simple. Everything, because you have access to the heights and the lows. And they're so quick. Like they were just here. Now they're way down there in the valley. They're chasing rock rabbits down there. I don't know if you can see them. But they're running up the other side of the mountain over there. What are they going? Look, I don't know if you can see them. They're way over there in the light. You see them running around over there? By the caves? They're chasing rock rabbits is what they're doing. You see dark and light. It's white and black. White and black. That's it's it's so funny when you start seeing signs everywhere. Everything is so divine. I brought my jar of coffee here, and I had my first cup of coffee here, and I think I'm gonna go back and make myself another cup of coffee. I'm gonna go down to the beach a little bit later and maybe spend the day on the beach. I think I'm gonna spend the day on the beach and maybe take some art projects, maybe take some paints. I feel like creating something. And my kids are with their dad. Oh, I need to go and pick something up for my son. So I need to get my son, my oldest is he works in Tel Aviv, and he picked up some of my print for me. So I need to go and get it from him too, from Tiberius sometime today. Maybe I'll do that before I go to the beach. That way I'll have everything that I need to do off my plate, and I'll go visit my son and see him. I haven't seen him in like 3 weeks or so. See my other two boys and then go to the beach. And my twin, yesterday we were talking that he'll probably come to the beach too, so that would be fun. I feel like I talked up a storm. I still feel like there's more in there to say about the balance, but I feel like, okay, so it's been 45 minutes that I've been talking. I feel like I should sum this up and not drag it out. And I also got off a little bit off. But that's what's good about this blog. This is for my vlog channel, and whoever connects to me, I feel like this is so divinely connected. Wow, they're way over there on the mountain. They're way over there on the other side of the mountain. Way over there. I don't know if you can see them. See that cave over there? They're in the mouth of the cave. Not the one not that one. It's that one. They're there in that cave. Or they were. Yeah, they're right there by that. And there's rock rabbits running up the side of the mountain over there, so they thought they were going to catch them. Yeah, right. But they did give it a good run for it. Oh, there's a little baby rock rabbit now running away. No, Rexy's not going to get it. No, it's already way. They climb like straight up the sheer bluffs. There's no way. See all the action? I'm all by myself, and there's action. There's always something going on. The other day I saw a bird catch another bird mid-flight. It chased it down, and the little bird was trying to get away, and it caught it, and then it flew off with it. So there's always something going on. It's like my own personal documentary out here. And then in my own, you see, I just talking and talking and talking. I fill up my own life. So I enjoy this. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.